this year in America and in Canada for the first time on a big, extensive tour in about 25 years since I've actually toured in Canada. We've done a few shows in America, but we're going to really do an extensive tour starting in June through December. Of course, I'll have a few weeks off in between, so we're just kind of doing a few shows each month. And so we're excited about that. And of course, this is our 31st year at Dollywood. Can you believe that? Feels like that was about 10 years ago. But anyway, we've got a lot of wonderful things going on. We got a new roller coaster this year called Lightning Rod. And it's a wooden coaster, and they say it's the first launched wooden roller coaster, whatever that means. I think it means it goes and then shoots up or something. But anyway, it's the fastest wooden roller coaster, they tell me. It goes about 73 miles per hour. Anyway, we're excited about that. That's actually part of the whole thing that we're doing at Dollywood. Remember, a few years ago, I talked about that we were going to spend $300 million, and we we're well on our way, and we're spending $50 million this year to actually and put a lot of wonderful things up in the Dollywood area. We've got one of the things I'm proud of, we've got a new dinner theater called Lumberjack Pigeon Forge Adventure, and that's down in that area called the Island. You know where that is, right? They're stealing a lot of business from us, so I figured I better get down there and get something going there. But anyhow, of course, we still have the Dixie Stampede, and one of the things I'm really excited about, too, is our Dollywood Resort, which opened last year, and it is doing just great. And, of course, if you stay there on your Dollywood adventure, you'll get to see the Dixie Stampede and the Lumberjack Theater, and, of course, the Dollywood Splash Country. So we got a lot of stuff that if you stay there, but we also have the wonderful cabins still at Dollywood. And let me see what else we're doing. Oh, of course, we're starting out, we're opening, I think the 18th and 19th of March for a weekend, the Festival of Nations, which we have every year, where people come from all over the world with their music, their arts and crafts and foods. The Mother Africa is really like a big deal up there, so we're really proud of all that. And let's see, I guess we launched the roller coaster toward the end of the month, and I'll be up there then. And what else have I got going on? Well, that's about all for that. But another thing I'm excited about, well, two more things. I have a new record coming out. I was talking about the tour, but it's called Dolly, Pure and Simple. I don't know how pure I am, but I know I'm pretty simple. But that's beside the point. The reason I'm calling it that is because actually I've stripped down my show quite a bit to where we don't have a lot of electric instruments. We don't have a lot of videos. We don't have any, really. In bigger places where we play, we'll have to have some video cameras where you can see me because I'm so little. So you have to kind of put me up there if it's a bigger place. But actually, I'm doing a lot of songs that's really scaled down and not a lot of music. And of course, I do a lot of talking. What else would I do, right? But anyhow, so we're excited about the whole show. We did some shows at the Ryman last year and some shows at Dollywood for the Imagination Library, and we used the Pure and Simple show. We've added some new things to it, of course, but people really liked it. They said they could hear good, they could see good, and so we're excited about that, and I've got a new DVD, a new CD coming out called Pure and Simple, about 12 songs that I've written, new songs. So I'm excited about that. Let's see what else. Oh, also it's actually a double CD. It's on one side it's like it's like Dolly's biggest hits. I said hits. I'll be careful when I announce that, don't I? But anyway, it is called that, really. But anyway, it's some of my biggest hits, the best of. And so it's a double CD. So you'll get the new Pure and Simple and the best of. So that's that. And then, of course, another great thing I'm excited about is the Coat of Many Colors movie. Did you ever see that? We were so happy. Of course, it's always been a favorite song of mine and a true story. And people had always said to me, won't you do that as a movie? So one day I thought, well, I ain't getting no younger. I better do it if I'm going to live to see it. So we did it last year, and it got great ratings, got really a lot of wonderful response because of the family, faith-based stuff on TV. You ain't seeing much of that anymore, which I kind of miss myself. But anyway, it did really great, and Warner Brothers Entertainment, they're putting it out as a DVD, and that's coming out on May the 3rd, right in time for Mother's Day. And I'm also going to download a song that I wrote called Mama. Actually, it'll be in the Pure and Simple album as well, but we're going to put it out at the same time, just so people can kind of get the whole feel. So we're excited about that. And in that DVD, actually, they do a lot of scenes that were left out. You know, you'll have to edit down a movie forever to get it, you know, to fit in time for TV. But we really left a lot of stuff in. We used a lot of scenes that didn't make it, some interviews, the kind of making of the movie. So it's really got a lot of interesting things in it. So hopefully it'll do good. Be a nice Mother's Day present since it is about Mama. Anyway, so I was very proud of my mom. I was very proud of the little show. Have I left anything out? No. Anyway, so I think that was basically what I wanted to talk about. We got a lot of other stuff going on. I'll be out, you know, hawking my goods all year. So, and you'll be here to help me out, won't you? Anyway, so I think some of you might be wanting to ask some questions.
All right, first question from Megan in the front.
Hi.
Megan Alexander in San
Yeah, good to see you.
Always good to see you. Thank you for who you are in this world today.
Well,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
very much, and we need you more than ever. If I could just ask you your thoughts, the country music community is mourning today. Could I get your thoughts on the passing of Joey B? She loved to perform your song, Code of Makeup.
Yes, she did, and Joy was such a sweet, sweet person. They had a really wonderful thing going. I was just so sorry that she had to be taken, but I guess Lord needed her more than we did, evidently. But she was a big fan of mine, and I was really touched by that. I kept trying to get there to see her, but I did make her a video, and I sent it out to her, and they say she was real happy with that. But yeah, when I heard that she had passed, it really hit me like a relative. You know, it really made my heart sad. But she handled that so well. She and Rory, they did a wonderful way in how kind of to deal with such a thing as that, and to leave behind their little child. It's like a sad thing, but she's watching. You know, she's up there. We love her, and I'm sorry that she did pass.
The ultimate compliment when someone loves your music, right?
Yeah, it is an ultimate compliment when somebody loves your music, especially when people perform it. So yeah, that's always very touching to me.
And if I could just ask you about Dolly, Pure and Simple, why is this important to you right now to get down to the beauty of music, Pure and Simple?
Well, I really love working with my band, the Mighty Fine Band I've worked with for all these years. They're dear to me. And so, but actually I just thought I don't go touring all that much. I wasn't really planning to do a tour this year because I've got so many things going. I'm producing some TV things and all. But I thought, well, I don't really have the time. I don't want to take the time to work up, you know, some big show with all kinds of, you know, stuff behind. I thought, well, I know I can sing, and I know I've got all these songs. I mean, I don't know that I sing good, but I do sing. And I thought, well, you know, I have my stories, I have my songs, and I just thought it was just a good time to kind of simplify things, especially since we're doing things like the Coat of Many Colors, kind of going back in time in my life. And it's a good time for me to do that, kind of just take inventory of where I come from, who I am. And I mostly in the Coat of Many Colors, it was less about me than about my family, because I've always said I wanted to honor my father and my mother. Like it says in the Bible, a lot of people think that just means to obey them, but I think it means to bring honor, you know, to their name and who they are. And I really just wanted to show people, you know, the kind of people, you know, that I came from. It was more about them and my family. So hopefully we're going to get to do some more things. We're hoping we might get to do a sequel for Christmas next year about a Christmas story from the family. And a lot of people keep saying, well, you should do a series. I said, well, we'll see. If they pay me enough, I will. All right, thank you.
Nancy on the right.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, I remember you.
With the success of Code of Many Colors, it's a huge success across the board. Is there other songs, and you mentioned you're working on some other things, when you have success, you get so excited to do something else, maybe what are some other songs, some other stories that you're going to share with us in the form of TV?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because you know, last year, some of them I remember, I made a 4-picture deal with NBC to do movies based on songs of mine. And we're working on Jolene now, the story of Jolene. And of course, I make jokes and talk about my husband having a crush on the bank, a girl at the bank when we first got married. That part was true, but I kept him. In fact, I'm going to be married to him 50 years in May, and we're going to get married again. Yeah, we are. We're going to. So, but anyhow, we're going to do Jolene, and people said, "Oh, Coat of Many Colors was just so great, and it was so faith-based, it was so this," and I said, "Yes, it was. And my life is so many colors." They said, "Well, you're certainly not going to do Jolene now. She's not going to be trashy, is she?" I said, "Well, she certainly is." I said, "Maybe she can become a Christian later." I can't just base stuff around what people, because I'm a girl of many colors, and my songs are my songs, and my stories are my stories. But there'll certainly be some redeeming qualities in it, but it's not going to be like the Coat of Many Colors. So when it's about Jolene stealing the husband, she's going to be an adulteress. So that's how that's going to be. So, but I'm not in it. I'm not being her. I might look like I might be, but I'm not doing it. But we're going to find some great, beautiful actress to play Jolene. And so we don't know yet who that's going to be, but it's going to be a good story just about someone stealing somebody else. There's always a Jolene out there. And then we're doing actually a movie on The Seeker. My song, The Seeker. It's a faith-based story, kind of about a Christ-type figure that travels the world, trying to find himself, but also having a gift and trying to help people, kind of like Highway to Heaven, Touched by an Angel, that type of thing. So we're going to do that, and if that does well as a movie, we'd like to make that into a series. And so we haven't decided on that fourth one yet. I might just do a musical special with that one. So
New boyfriend? No.
that would be cute. Potential new boyfriend. Yeah, never get too old to dream or fantasize.
Archie?
Anybody else?
I could ask about the tour specifically in America. It's been a long time since you've done a full-blown tour here. Can you talk about the decision to do that now?
Well, it's just a good time for me right now, because the success of the last tour we did in Europe, and the Blue Smoke album did so well, and that was all through Europe. And so we had so many people say, "Well, why not go overseas? You don't even ever come and do a whole tour here." But I thought it was a good idea to do it now because of so many good things that are going. And so we've had a lot of requests to go a lot of places. Plus, I wanted to tour this coming year, even though I've got a lot of stuff in the works. I wanted to do that because next year I might possibly do a series. I'm certainly getting really involved in the production of these TV shows, so I might do more business things and just do some shows here and there. So I thought, well, it's a good time to do a tour, and it helps to promote, the park and a record and all the other stuff I'm out promoting. So it's always good to do a tour. Plus, I love the fans. I love to get out there and see that. So it just seemed to be the right thing to do. But I
Cindy?
left time for everything else. Okay.
Cindy Watts?
Where's Cindy Watts? Hi.
Hi, Miss Dolly.
Hello.
Can you talk about the new music on the Career Symbol? Like what can we look forward to?
Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. Well, I'm going to, like I said, I've got a new CD coming out, so I'll probably do maybe 3 of the songs from that. But of course, I'll do all the songs that I'm famous for, the 9 to 5, Here You Come Again, I'll Always Love You, Jolene, Two Doors Down. I do all those things, but I've kind of scaled them down a little bit to where they sound a little more like kind of when I wrote them. Although I'm working with Richard Dennison, Tom Rutledge, and Kent Wells, so there's just 4 of us on stage, and I play a lot of different instruments, and we kind of all swap off on different things, and they do harmony with me. So it's just a simpler kind of show. And I will, of course, like I say, do all the hits and do a few new songs, but then I try to add little things that are entertaining, some comedy, and a few little fun songs too. So it's got a good variety, and of course I do all my gospel things, my spiritual things, talk about home, the Coat of Many Colors, and Tennessee Mountain Home, those kind of songs. I do a little segment about home, where I do Applejack, and just talk about the folks back home. Coat of Many Colors crowd. The ones you saw on TV, that community.
Bill?
The Coat of Many Colors, as many times as you've seen it, what gets to you personally the most emotionally difficult part of watching?
Well, I tell you, it's different. How you doing? Always good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Every time I sing that song, it depends on what kind of place I'm at in my life. In fact, I remember when my mom was sick before she passed away, it was just so hard for me to sing it because every time I'd sing it, I wondered how Mama was. If we were out, I'd go, after the show, I'd go call and see how Mom's doing. And, it was different kinds of emotion. But when Mama passed away, boy, I could not sing that song for probably, 3 to 6 months without crying when I was singing it. I tried not to, to lose everything on stage in front of everybody, because like my eyelashes in my room. But seriously, I could not sing that song without thinking of everything Mama had ever done. It was like every night it would be a little different, like something Mama had said, something Mama had done to make us all feel loved and all. So I just think of my family when I sing it. It always brings that whole little, like the Coat of Many Colors movie, it just brings that, my brothers and sisters when we were young, brings Daddy back. He's gone now also. And so it's wonderful to be able to write songs and to be able to do this. My sister Stella played Corla Bass, the old lady in the show, and she's and it was really touching to us because I knew that I could not watch that movie at the screening with other people because I knew that I would just sob my eyes out. And Stella felt the same. So Warner Brothers were nice enough to give it a little theater there in their office building for Stella and I to go watch it. And we did. We just cried our eyes out. And it was such a strange feeling when Stella and I we got out of the car and we was walking up the steps and thinking, now we're going in here to watch ourselves, watch our family, Mom and Daddy, and it was just the strangest feeling to us. It was just so emotional. And we thought, how weird is this? Here we are in Hollywood, and you're in the movie, and it's my story, and it's all about us. And so it was just really, it was a moment I shared with Stella that I'll never be able to quite explain exactly what that was, that moment we had. It was almost like we were there to kind of represent all of our family, and it was a real touching thing for us, really. And we both, slung snot all over.
You have the final say in casting.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm very involved in everything. Of course, Sam Haskell, my partner in the production company, he's so wonderful. He was my agent for years. He was William Morris for many, many years, and we became friends. And so we have an understanding, of each other. But they spent all this time, bringing people in, and then I would go in. They would narrow down, to maybe 10 to 15 people for each part, and then I would go sit and we'd look. And the hardest one to find was the little Dolly, that little Olivia. Oh man, she's just Olivia, little Allie Lynn, we call her Allie. But she was God-given. I mean, they kept bringing all these kids, and I said, no, that don't feel right. That don't seem right. And the second we saw her, it was like when her little face came on the screen and she was doing some of the action, and I said, that's her, that's her. I said God was going to send her, and he did. And that's really how I felt about it. And that little thing just did such a wonderful job. And so, yes, I was involved in all of that. And when Jennifer Nettles, what a great job she did, right? Did you see her in that? Man, I thought she did great. And she had seen in just a little video. I didn't know she even acted. And she had taken it, and she had her hair dark. I didn't recognize it as her. And when they started rolling that film, I said, that's Mama. And they said, you know who that is, don't you? And I said, I don't think so. So I said, is that Jennifer? They said it was. So anyway, she got the part, and nobody could have done it better. So yeah, I'm always involved in all of that. Some of the people, though, I didn't have. The ones that were not like immediate family, I didn't have that, I wasn't that critical, let's say. But my brothers and sisters and Mama and Daddy and my grandpa Jake, the ones that were really there, they were real important. And Stella playing Corla Bass was pretty cute.
Lauren, next in the back.
Hey, Dolly.
Hi.
50 years of marriage is just such a huge blessing.
That's what you think. How long have you been married?
Well, how important is a support system to what you do every day, the support system of marriage. And what does Dolly Parton look for? And you're renewing your vows in May? Or
Yeah, we are.